first, we introduce our two universities, so you already know what we are doing at our universities, what we look like. Quite different, but I would say very different, but that's the great advantage. For example, we think of Centrale as our main partner just because it is different. It's a great richness to cooperate with someone who is complementary. We are not doing the same things. We are not teaching the same way. Even the mentality of how to learn, of how to become an engineer is very, very different. And that's great. Our students and their students are taking a great advantage of that. Learning to see the world under different perspectives. That's a remark I wanted to say. We have 27 years of experience of doing double degrees together, 27 years. And at the beginning it was not easy, obviously, because we are so different. But it's very good. For example, in Italy, perhaps you don't know, we are more similar to the Germans. Our system has been always an Humboldtian system, not a French system or an Anglo-Saxon one. Well, exchanging with Germany is good because the culture, but we are too similar. With the French, we are very different in teaching. We are closer culturally, but more different in the system. Okay. So yesterday we spoke of our two universities, and then we spoke of the Ad Salem, and through the Ad Salem we introduce what we are doing in double degrees, how we are doing double degrees at the master level, mainly. But then, at the end of the presentation, the last presentation done by Professor Pascal was on double degrees. Was a survey. He told you about the results of a survey that we did within Ad Salem on double degrees on the two continents. So if you keep in mind those results are, let's say, the boundary conditions. Without that, and it is important, I will come back on something of that. I don't know how to take out this gray spot. But okay, let's see if it is not disturbing. And do you think if I touch here, yesterday it was working? No. Okay. No, but no problem, I touch here. Oh, doesn't work. What happened? Okay. Okay. No, but it's not a problem. It's not a big deal going there. Thank you. So, for 27 years, as I told you, from 88, the first time we met between Centrale and Politecnico di Milano was for the creation of a time network was in October 88. Since then, we exchanged a lot of students in double degrees for master. Many other universities joined, and also with them we are doing double master. I repeat, double is when we award two completely independent, full-fledged degrees. But that was and is at the level of master. So at the level of master we got a lot of experience. Just to give you an idea, in the time network, we already awarded more than 5,000 double degree at the master level. And the two main players are just our two universities. The third one is Politecnica de Madrid.
Both masters that are accredited separately in both countries?
Because they are the local title. So it's automatically, they have automatically the full recognition of both countries. Because he's un diplôme d'ingénieur in France, he's a laurea magistrale in Italy, undistinguishable from the one awarded to our students. The same. But that's between us. Unfortunately, here I say the distinction between the, here a slide is missing, between joint and double. I projected the slide yesterday, that's why I took it away, but now I see that I'm mentioning that. So the joint degree, on the contrary, is a coordinated curriculum whereby the two universities are the provider of one coordinated course, at the end of which students, graduates, receive one single degree awarded by the consortium of the two or three. So the results will be a single piece of paper with the logo of two or three universities, signed by the two or three rectors and being totally recognized at the countries of the two or three. That's theory. To be very honest, I tell you, I never saw such a degree so far. If you listen to, I am very provocative, but if you listen to the fonctionnaire of the European Commission, Europe is doing a lot of joint degree. Maybe I never saw one.
European policy.
Yeah.
It's a European
yes.
policy.
We are doing the joint. It's a wonderful thing, but there are big difficulties. Just to mention in Italy. In Italy, the law permits it, but the bureaucracy behind that is enormous. And the university has some penalty on the number of the ratios students to number of degrees. So, well, it is possible. And we are studying. We are preparing one for the next year. Between us, Central de Lille and Politecnica de Madrid. But we were thinking to submit it for this call in March, and we thought that we have to delay of another year, with all the experience we have. What happens? What happened and is happening in Europe during these years? People meet, consortium of 4, 5 universities, very enthusiastic, they say, let's do a joint degree at the level of master. They work, they prepare the project, everything very good. Then at the last moment they realize that there are legal obstacles, at least at one of the partners, that cannot be overcome. At that moment, to be honest, they should redo everything and say, let's do a double degree in the double degree. No, what the majority of them did. The majority of them kept all that material, all that curriculum, and say, it's easier from the legal point of view of awarding 2 degrees, and then they award a double degree. To me, it's a little bit cheating the job market. They are selling a joint degree for a double. To be very provocative. But that's a common procedure in Europe. So when you hear of a joint degree, ask, but is there a single document, single parchment at the end? Is it does it have 2-3 logos? Does it have the signature of all the rectors on the same piece of paper? And then you will have answer like, yes, but, well, but. There is always a but. Okay, that's the situation for the master. Apart from that, at least at the time association, we did a study, we had even a workshop in Lausanne some years ago. We arrived to the conclusion that for us is more convenient at the master level to do a double degree than a joint degree. So at least in the time association, we are doing double degrees. And the joint, well, we could do, but we have to see. The situation is different at the, as you will see, at the level of the doctorate. Just to put another thing, just to put you in the picture, European picture. I remember I was mentioning yesterday, I think to you, I was giving a lecture at the NAFSA some years ago, 2-3 years ago, in a panel, and there was a representative of the European Commission, and there was a question at the end. The question was, do you think that the double degree are only a transitory measure, something transitory, but asymptotically we will go to joint degree? So it's only a means of overcoming legal problems, but the goal is to do joint degree? Well, that was typical. We had an immediate reaction. The representative of the European Commission shouted, definitely yes, and I shouted, definitely not. And we are two good friends, by the way, Peter van der Heijden. And well, then we discussed along at length. We went out to have lunch together, then we met other times at various conferences. I think that now we understood. We were speaking of two different things, because he was speaking of those double degree that were joint and were at the camouflage as a double. And so he's perfectly right that in the long run, when the obstacles are removed, they will be changed in joint. But there are also true double degree, the ones we are doing in the time association, and that's what he at the beginning was not recognizing, that there are products that are intrinsically different, that are born as double degree, and then they will survive. What we are doing between us are real double degrees. So I think that they have the right to survive. And from a policy point of view, within the time association, we think that at the master level, they are the best product. Why? Because we are producing engineers, not academics. So people that will have to work on the job market in different nations. And so it's really a big value added, the fact of having a title, a local title, totally recognized. Think the most striking example is between us and Brazil. Brazil is not recognizing anything, any title, any foreign title. But when we do double degree, it's completely overcome the problem, because they get a degree of Polytechnico di Milano or of Central Paris, and a degree of USP or a degree of Federal de Rio or of Campinas. So it's a title totally recognized in Brazil. The problem is solved. So They are important product for that. So at the master level, our policy is to do double, except in some cases that we are studying where really we want to do a real join, means that we don't have the forces, we don't have the competences, all the competences in one field. So we join forces to produce 1 degree course, but it's a different concept. The reason why to start a joint must be very different. It's joining force to have a really good degree where nobody of us is strong enough. So a completely different reason.
And probably without any additional time.
Without, for the joint, without. For the double, with. Yes. Yes, that's a big difference. I am very happy that Centraliani is saying that. No, because between me and Pascal, we totally agree on that. That, as a consequence, when we do the double degree, we require extra time. And I showed you yesterday the response of in the booklet. You have a response even of the employers that they think that 1 year more is reasonable for the double degree. Obviously, if you are doing a join, what is it? Is one title. You are not allowed to do it in a longer time. You have to propose a title, a degree in the usual time, without extra time. That's too.
You have one question?
Oh, please.
I was going to ask something, but you kind of already answered it, because I wanted to know what is the extra value for a student, for an alumni, to have 2 degrees or a jointed degree. And I think it's the time. It will be faster.
To do a join.
Yes.
No, but will be also something different. I give you the example of what we are. The only example we are working on now is on renewable energies. Okay, in renewable energies there are a lot of competences that are needed in completely different fields. There are the wind energy, there are the photovoltaic, there are the biomasses, all these things. There are the problem of energy storage, done mechanically, hydrologically, done by super capacitors, so involving nanotechnology and so on. In that case, if you want to do a very complex curriculum whereby every subject is taught really by a great specialist of renown at the international level, well, nobody of us is able. But we join forces, so we offer a top level. That's a reason for the join. For the double, there are great advantages. There are advantages of the 2 titles to be spent in 2 different countries. That's one, the formal advantage. And also the advantage of having 1 year more, so you do many more things. And you have time enough. In the time association, we require generally the students to go away for 2 years. When you are 20 years old and you spend 2 years abroad, you are opening your mind completely. So it's a cultural advantage. And in the long run, I think that this is the most important advantage, the real advantage, independently of a piece of paper. I really in this year saw people going out that way, where students and coming back so mature. They are young colleagues of yours.
I wanted to know if in your study, did you perform surveys on people who actually have 2 degrees or double degrees, and they have given their feedback?
Yes. Were you yesterday? Do you have a booklet?
Yes, I have.
You have. If you read, these are surveys just on that. Alumni survey.
We have in the office some true videos, real videos from some focus groups that we do here with the alumni from dual degrees, current students, and industry leaders.
I'm going at the PhD level.
No, I was, all what I said so far is at the master level. Now we will pass to the
I would like to add something important. A key word is adaptability.
Perfect.
If someone goes abroad and must adapt to a new environment, to a new language, to a new way of teaching and learning, it will be adaptable. And the result is, there are some statistics in time association. 1/3 of the students will work in his home country, 1/3 in the
Yes,
host country, and a third, and 1/3
We will have that slide in a moment. No, good that you mentioned
the
it.
third one
Means that we are on the perfect same wavelength.
is so adaptable that he can begin a new life in a third one. So it's very important, I think, for the future, for the professional lives of the students, of the alumni.
So
I agree with Pascal and with Giancarlo. What we saw across the different countries in Latin America, in terms of the points of views of the employers, what they believe that most of the engineers were missing was the soft skills, or what we call the generic skills. So I think there's so much value added to have a very skilled engineer with a master's or PhD, but with the
Teamwork, ability.
abilities, adaptability, flexibility, so many things.
Sorry.
Okay.
No, I'm not sorry. I'm very happy.
We were part of the project, that's why we're energetic.
Yes.
Giancarlo.
I'm very happy that you mentioned it because it means we agree on that. And that's again at the master level. For us, this means really internationalization because there is someone could say, okay, you do with 2 countries.
no, 1/3 of them are having wonderful career in another country, which means that once you did it, you are really international. You can work everywhere, not only in the 2 countries where we took the 2 degrees. That's proved just in real life. Okay, now the problem of PhD. We did experiments. I would say that mainly, if you consider the number, I would say that it is still experimental, even if we did it for some years, but we don't have 5,000 double doctorates to do statistics very meaningful. So it's still almost at the level of an experiment, an advanced experiment, very advanced, but still an experiment. Okay. You need a different philosophy because research, at the end of the day, you judge a doctorate on the quality of research. We all agree on that. First question, why to promote international cooperation at the doctoral level? In particular, why promote highly integrated projects like double and joint degrees? It's not a silly question, because one could object, there is no need. Someone thinks like that. It's easy to understand why it is, what is the value added for us as an institution. It is less easy to understand why there is a value added for the double graduates. So we have to be careful what are the motivations. For us, it's obviously because for the institutions you have you enhanced the links between education and research. You link to our universities. Okay, promoting cooperation at the doctoral level means involving tutors. Well, it's a loop, because to start it, you have usually to already have established some contacts at the research level, but then promoting cooperation at the doctoral level, you involve much more the tutors, you motivate them, they are compelled to work with other parties in supervising together the thesis. So it's a process. And at the end of the day, it certainly promotes research cooperation between the two institutions. There must already be something, but then as a loop, it enhances a lot the research cooperation between the two institutions. But now the what. I am still speaking of cooperation between institutions. That's very important, and I would add, I don't remember whether I put on another slide in this presentation, there is another thing. If you do joint or double, so highly integrated degrees, between PhD degrees, after some years, there is a long range, long run advantage. Some of them will remain at the institution. We have here an example. He did the PhD in Milano and he's here. So he will always be a champion of a cooperation between Milano and Uninorte. They will be our successor in promoting the cooperation. Because after some years you will have, for example, between Uninorte and Milano, some like him here and the equivalent some in Milano too. And they will always advocate for a